Welcome to the Next Level Life podcast with Christine Corcoran. This podcast is made for the powerhouse businesswomen who are ready to ignite their fullest potential. This is where we will dive deep into the mindset breakthroughs and sprinkle in some kick up the butt motivation so you can scale your business with confidence and clarity. Whether you're craving more income, impact, or inspiration, this podcast will be your ultimate resource for all things next level. Listen in as we have authentic conversations with game-changing female entrepreneurs as we reveal the secrets on what it takes to rise and thrive. So go ahead, ignite your inner fire, and let's get you taking massive aligned action. Are you ready to elevate? Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. So excited that you are here, whatever day you're tuning into this. I appreciate you hitting download and coming and spending a little bit of time with me. Today, I want to talk to you about high impact activities that truly move the needle in your business. And I also want to share with you an exciting announcement. So I've been alluding to the fact that I have a new program coming out, and I want to share with you the details because the doors are going to be opening this week. I gave a sneak peek to my beautiful workshop members that came along on Friday in Brisbane, and today I want to share with you the exciting announcement. I've been working behind the scenes to really develop a high-level program to support you in creating unstoppable sales in your business. Now, to be unstoppable in business, sales is an essential skill that you need to learn in order for you to feel confident and competent in being able to succeed in business. And it's one of those things that feels super uncomfortable unless you know the process. The amount of conversations that I have with women around hating sales, around avoiding sales conversations, not knowing how to handle objections, not knowing what to do when it comes to ghosting or how to follow up with people. And it's one of the things that I've loved supporting my clients through over so many of my years in business because I come from a corporate background of sales. So I actually really love sales, and sales can be an enjoyable part of your business when you learn the process. There is a process to it. And when you don't understand the process or you don't know, you've never been taught the sales process, then sales can feel super icky, sleazy, salesy. And that's because there are certain steps that are being missed. So I shared this with my workshop ladies recently in Brisbane around that there are 7 steps to a sales process. And the majority of the time when you see people promoting their offer, right, when they're jumping up on social media and they're like, here's how you can work with me, it's actually like that part of the process of presenting your offer is actually step 6 in a 7-part sales process. So you're missing the whole first beginning, and that's what makes it salesy or sleazy. And it's the same thing with your sales calls. If you're going too quickly into presenting your offer and you're missing all the lead up to that, then people feel like it becomes salesy, pushy, or that you don't actually care. And so this is why I'm so passionate about helping women to feel really confident in their ability to sell, because it changes the way that you then show up in your business. Like, it changes so much, because if you know where your next client is going to come from, if you're feeling super confident in your ability to convert those clients, then you never stress about money. You never worry about where your next client is going to come from. You're never checking Seek for jobs, right? Because you're like, I know how to make money in my business. Now, there are 4 core areas that I support you with in Unstoppable Sales. The first one is understanding your offer. Getting super clear on your offer, making sure that it's an irresistible offer that stands out in the crowd, because there are plenty of other people that do what you do. And if your offer does not meet the needs of the clients that you really want to work with, then they're going to quite easily compare you on price. And you do not want them comparing you on price. You want them comparing you on value and nothing else. So I help teach you how to create and articulate and craft your irresistible offer. So then your ideal clients are like, oh, I really want to work with you because the other person I spoke to never mentioned anything about this and never actually met my needs in this area. And I didn't know this was going to be even included. Like, oh my goodness, like, we want to cultivate that beautiful, incredible offer. So then that's an easier yes for people to dive in and say and invest in. Secondly, we dive into building out your long-term sales strategy. You've got to feel super confident in knowing where your next client is going to come from, and that takes work. Like, we've got to actually look at your ideal client, your lead generation. We've got to look at how you're going to nurture and convert those ideal clients before we even get to the sales process. So we dive into your big sales strategy. Then we start talking about selling, especially high ticket selling. When it comes to a service that costs more than $1,000, people take the time to actually determine whether they want to invest in it or not, right? They are much more discerning. There's more of a question around it. They're like, is there going to be ROI? Is it going to be really valuable for me? What am I going to get out of this? Should I invest in this now or should I wait? Like, there's so many more questions that come up in the sales process when it comes to a higher ticket offer. So if your service is above $1,000, I would class it as a high ticket offer. It means that people are going to be much more discerning and have more questions. And you need to know, as a business owner, how to overcome those objections, how to have a conversation that really communicates your value, so then the client knows that it's going to meet their needs and there is going to be ROI, or there is going to be value in investing in it. So I'm teaching you really authentic sales strategies and techniques that is in integrity, right? There is no sleaze in this. There is no pushiness. There is no manipulation. It's understanding sales from a human behavior perspective. So you feel super confident in knowing how to navigate that process with a client. So I teach you how to handle objections. I teach you how to follow up. I teach you how to deal with ghosting, like all of those key areas when it comes to, I teach you how to navigate the challenge around I have to ask my husband, like all of those types of objections. We dive into all of that. And then the last key piece is your mindset. We work through exploring and uncovering and releasing your money mindset blocks because it is a very key thing when it comes to charging what you're worth and increasing your prices and being able to be consistently sold out. You've got to rewire your brain. So we work on those belief systems, so your limiting belief systems and your money mindset so you can feel super confident within your money in your business. So we even dive into knowing your numbers within your business and being able to know your cash flow, work out your profitability, explore the way that you manage your money within your business. And then we look at the vibration and the mindset piece so then you can attract more and receive more into your business. It's my favorite part of the program because it's where the biggest shifts start to happen. So this is Unstoppable Sales. I'm so excited. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. So this is coming. The next round is starting on the 29th of July. The doors are going to open this week. So make sure that you check out the link in the show notes. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. Or if send an email to me, that's totally fine as well. If you'd love to have a chat, we can also jump on a call to see if it's the right fit for you. I'm so excited to bring this to everyone because I know how impactful it's going to be, and I cannot wait to start shifting everyone's mindsets around sales to allow them to be unstoppable in business. So excited. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic. I want to talk to you about high impact activities that truly move the needle in your business. If I had $1 for every question that I got around growth and making progress and actually moving forward in your business, I would be an absolute multimillionaire because it's one of the things that I feel like business owners struggle with the most is navigating the balance between working in their business compared to working on their business and knowing where to spend their time, right? There's so much noise around all these types of busy activities that really are just keeping us busier. And really, how do we prioritize those needle moving activities? And I love talking about this when it comes to sales because it's one of the things that I feel like gets missed. People go straight to going, oh, I'm going to spend time on my marketing, but they don't actually really spend time on their sales. And then before you know it, they've got no leads coming in and they're, struggling to make ends meet, or they're having really inconsistent income in their business. And so they're struggling to move forward. And you need money in order for you to grow. So you can invest back in your business. You can invest into lead generation. You can invest into upgrading your systems or, whatever it is that you're working on with the growth of your business, you're going to need to invest back into it. So making money consistently is really key. And so when it comes to those needle moving activities, we really want to consider that the sales activities need to be the first and foremost, right? And marketing comes into play with that. But I feel like it's one of the things that I teach in my mastermind so often because so many women come to me going, I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the things. I'm exhausted. I don't know where I should be spending my time. I feel like I've got no time to work on the business. And so I get down to the nitty gritty, the practicalities of okay, what are the specific things we need to do in order to move the needle? And how can we just make it so simple for your brain to be able to go, I know how to take action on this? Because the more confusion we create or the more overwhelm we put ourselves in by creating massive lists or creating huge plans, sometimes we just need to come back to the bare basics and look at it and go, okay, so these are the 3 key activities you need to be doing every single week, no matter what, and just start building on those small little habits. And that's actually what moves the needle the most. I feel like it's one of the things that, elevates my business to the next level every time is because I am allocating time to work on the business. I have dedicated time in my CEO activities that are growth focused activities, that are sales generating activities, and that are visibility growing activities. So this is what I want to talk to you about, these 3 core areas, because when it comes to needle moving, it's like I was saying this to my mastermind group the other day, there's front of house and back of house. When it comes to visibility, front of house and back of house. If you cannot be seen, if you're not getting more eyes on your business consistently, it's going to very quickly start to show in your business because you'll have not enough leads to lean on in order for you to make money. So I look at these 3 core areas. So knowing what the core activities are underneath these 3 categories would be really worthwhile focusing on. And then you want to start where you feel like you need to focus on first. So we go growth focused. Now growth focused is really future focused. So these aren't in specific orders because it's going to be dependent on what your goals are in your business, okay? So depending on where you're going, where you're at, and what's currently happening in your business right now, you may not have time to focus on growth focus. So growth focused are very much future activities that aren't necessarily going to generate money for you right now, but it's things that you want to work on in order for you to be able to bring to your business. It might be a new service, it might be a new offering, it might be elevating the systems, improving parts behind the scenes, improving the experience. Like there's so many things that are growth focused that you know are going to benefit the business long term, but it's not necessarily going to generate income this week or next week. Okay. So highlighting what your growth focused activities are still really key, because you cannot progress unless you know where you're going. So having a big vision for your business and determining, okay, where do I want to be in 12 months time? And what are those growth focused activities that I need to be doing in order to get me closer to that goal? So you start there, right? Make out your list first. The next one are your sales generating activities. Now, you may need to focus on your sales generating activities first. If you are feeling like you're, feeling the pinch and you really need to bring in new clients right now, then you may need to focus on sales generating activities. And so you may spend all your time on sales generating and then put the other two to the side for the moment. But then eventually you want to get to the point where you are doing consistent sales generating activities so that you're consistently bringing in new leads, you're consistently bringing in new business. And so then you're not necessarily stressed so much about money. So I have my business planned out well in advance, that I have new income coming in, I have new launches happening, and I have consistent income coming in for the next 6 months in my business. Like I already have this runway of payment plans, of people working with me, a wait list of people that I know what money is coming in over the next 6 months, right? So I don't necessarily need to be hardcore focusing on sales activities right now in order for me to generate results today. Whereas you might be in that position in your business where you're like, I actually really need to bring in some money this month. So then you focus on, what are my sales generating activities right now? So mapping out your sales generating activities, they're going to be different for every business. That's why it's difficult for me to be like, go do this specifically. But really, you want to start with, what are you doing for lead generation, right? Do you have a plan in place? Are you tracking your leads? What are the conversations that you're having, and are you tracking those conversations? How are you generating more sales conversations within your business? How do you support someone to make a decision to buy from you? So it might be through your content, it might be through a sales system, it might be through your emails, like having a plan of like, what do you need to sell and when are you going to sell it, right? So making out a plan and then determining what are the activities you need to be doing on a regular basis in order for you to generate those results. So then we have our visibility focus activities, right? So our visibility is more for growth and expansion, and it's also getting more eyes. So it's more marketing. It's the way that I look at it, right? It's visibility, sales, and growth. So visibility is like your marketing piece. It might be like you go, okay, I don't really need to focus on selling right now, but I know that in 3 months' time, I've got a new program that I want to launch, and I want to start expanding my brand awareness with regards to my new messaging, or I maybe want to just start to, build up my email list, or I want to just get in front of new audiences because maybe you've realized you've tapped out of your current audience, you've already sold to enough of them, and now you're like, actually, I really want to start expanding. So then you go, okay, what are my visibility activities that I'm going to be focusing on for the next 3 months, and how can I prioritize those? So for me, I look at those from a perspective of, how can I get on more podcasts and be a guest on a podcast? How can I do more live Instagram lives, Facebook lives? How can I create more opportunities to speak in front of new audiences? Can I do some collaborations? Can I speak at events? Like, what are some of the things that will get me in front of new audiences? And so that, and then expand my network as well. So that also helps me get in front of new audiences. So starting to think about like what your visibility activities are going to be. It could even just be a marketing focus to really build your brand and credibility in the space. So you might have this new focus and you go, okay, this is my goal for the next month, is to expand my visibility and to build that brand awareness and credibility in the space. So that might be your goal, right? So I look at these 3 core areas and go, what are my growth focused activities here that are going to move the needle? And majority of the time, they're not necessarily massive things, but they're consistent habits, right? So I want you to figure out what they are and then start focusing on building those into the habits within your business. And determine, like, and this goes like month to month, quarter to quarter, right? So I might go, okay, I've got a new program launching, like I've got Unstoppable Sales launching. My focus has been to really build visibility up until this month. And now I'm going into sales generating activities, which are more launch focused activities that I've been planning. And so obviously sharing that with you here is part of that launch activity. And so you really want to think about like, what's your plan? And so you're planning ahead of time. So I already have my plan for the next quarter, the next 6 months, the next 12 months, because I know what I'm launching when. And so I go through different phases where I'm like, I will go through a visibility phase, or I'll go through a growth focused phase. Like I've been working on developing Unstoppable Sales behind the scenes. And so by doing that, that was a growth focused activity that's not creating more visibility. It's not creating more sales, but I know it will in the future. So that's something I've been working on the last couple of months. So it's knowing that you've got to be working on all 3, but sometimes we need to go, let's just get the business to be feeling more stable, and then I can start implementing more visibility and growth focus. So you might have to focus on sales first, build up that stability and sustainability, and then you work on your visibility and growth, okay? But the sales still have to happen, right? So even in times where I'm focused on visibility, I'm still thinking about lead generation. I'm still thinking about how I'm supporting the next phase of my business. So I might not be necessarily selling, and I'm saying that in air quotes, so I may not be selling anything, but I'm considering what I'm going to be selling in the future. So then the activities that I'm doing with my growth focus and my visibility focus is supporting where I'm going. Does that make sense? So it's really mapping out that bigger plan, because otherwise you keep just treading water and you keep just creating the exact same results that you created last quarter and last month and last year. So I hope this has helped you in some ways to really think about it from these 3 different aspects, those high impact activities. Now, the other thing that I do with my growth focused activities that I haven't touched on just yet that I thought I might just mention is I always have a game changing action. And I do this within my masterminds is I ask people to really consider what would be a game-changing action, because often what happens is we create mediocre action. We're just doing the same thing we've always done, and then we wonder why we're not getting different results. It's because you're not doing anything different. You're not doing anything like that's a massive action step. You're just staying mediocre. And so you want to come back to that place of like, okay, so what's something that would be scary? What's something that would induce the imposter syndrome? What would be something that would push me outside my comfort zone? And then I think about doing something like that, and I put that on the top of the list as well. Because if I'm able to do that, then I most likely will move the needle even further in a faster way than if I was to do 10 of the small little steps. So I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope that you find this really valuable, because I find that it's just one of those things that people find the most challenging to navigate is the balance of these. So, and it's because we get too busy working in the business rather than on the business. So if that's you, map out your time, plan ahead for it, schedule it into your calendar, because you need to schedule in these activities in order for them to become a habit. If you're not scheduling them, they won't get done. Build them in, create the habit, and then take your business to the next level. I hope that you've loved this episode. If you're keen to come and join us for Unstoppable Sales, the link is in the show notes. You can check all about it. And if you have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram. I'm more than happy to chat with you to see if this is the right fit for you, because working on your sales is a vital, essential skill that's going to serve you for the growth of your business ongoing forever. So I cannot wait to support you in this, and I hope you have a beautiful afternoon. Thank you for listening, and if you found any value out of this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you get access to the episodes as soon as they are live, and make sure you come hang out with me on Instagram. You can find me at ChristineCorcoran_coach. Have an incredible week.